Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So today was a funny day. There's been a lot of discussion about everyone's favorite Cat in the Hat, Super EZA Teq Beerus. So Super EZA Teq Beerus dropped, and he was pretty much like unanimously thought of as like dominant. Like, he's so broken. He's an aberration. I mean, you could fact check a lot of the things I'll say, like in videos, stuff like that. Like, he's an aberration. I said I don't think we're going to typically see EZAs on his level. I also do not believe we'll see super EZAs like that. Like I just thought that it was just maybe like an accidental mistake or something like that. Here's what my most recent EZA TUR list looks like, which I've got right here. I double-checked after today's events. So I dropped this on January 2nd, right? And there was very minimal talk of Beerus. There is there's like a quote saying they don't like Beerus, and there's like a comment saying they don't like Beerus, but it's just like a couple. There's like 2 or 3 that are in there. And for the most part, it's like people are talking about other stuff, you know, Super EZA Gohan, Full Power Freezer, like they're talking about other characters like that, right? So I don't think moving forward we'll see a lot of Super EZAs who are going to kind of explode on this level to where Beerus is just like head and shoulders better than the rest. Now, I saw this right here. Teq Majin Vegeta over Beerus. Teq Majin Vegeta, I think is quite overrated. It's mainly because of his base, though. I really hate the transformation conditions that these two have. I think it's just horrible, right? It's one of those things where it's like, it's not an issue until it becomes an issue. Hold on. This is at HP 50% or more. It's just, it being 3 separate things you have to hit, it just can be very, very frustrating right there, right? But Vegeta's base doesn't provide very much value, just period. Like, he just gets crushed. He's just not really good enough compared to a lot of other characters. Now, if we look at it, I mean, in Super Saiyan 2, Goku has pretty much the same base. Trunks and Goten, I mean, they're a character. They need to get targeted a couple of times, and then they kick into high gear. If they dodge a couple of times, and then it kind of turns into, like, exponential dodging, and then it like, everything is, like, super good, right? But, like, things have got to go your way. Vegeta having this weak base is, like, a major issue. When you transform with him, he definitely is very good. Now, people are saying he's a little bit better in slot 1 than I was thinking, so we'll see. But he has millions and millions and millions of defense after he attacks. Like, even Max Buff's Red Zone Kid Buu is not really doing shit to Majin Vegeta. Like, Majin Vegeta is super good. And he does have the Rainbow Orb changing, which is good, right? So, like, once you get here, it's probably gonna be pretty good. He's probably gonna be able to handle business effectively, right? Whereas, like, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you know, you transform with him, and he's still gonna be kind of like a dodge or die type character. Like, things are not really just gonna be like that, you know, crystal clear for him. So, we get the new characters that came out. Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then we also have got EZA STR Kid Buu. I'm still in the process of kind of like working through videos with them. With Goku and Kid Buu, there's a new type of video I'm going to try too. I had an idea. I'm going to try and like go through their world tour, and then I have this, I think, kind of interesting. We'll see if people like it or not. They probably will hate it, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'm working through the world tour towards kind of like a special video for Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu. Right now, at the moment, I'm leaning towards them. So, like, you leave this the same. I guess we just remove Kefla and Teq Ultimate Gohan. Kefla can get bodied, Teq Ultimate Gohan can get bodied. I'm not really too enamored with either of them at this point. They're characters from, you know, pre-Tanabata meta. So they're from a million years ago at this point. I think Kid Buu and Physical Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku are up here with Beerus. Now, I still want to get through a lot of footage of Goku and Buu, so I'm in no rush to upload the tier list update. I think the way I'm thinking right now, I'm probably going to end with Kid Buu 1, Teq Beerus 2, and Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku 3 is probably what I'll do. I'm not really too sure. All three of them are definitely a level above like these characters. I'm pretty pleased that we actually have EZA TURs who are really going to be up here, right? Like, I think that that's super good. But I'm not really 100% convinced on what. But, bruh, the nonsense with Teq Beerus out of nowhere. I mean, I've been ranting about this for weeks. Has it not been weeks I've been ranting about Beerus and people talking about this fucker's teams? Dude, people have been saying he has no teams. And it's just like, what would possess you to say that? He has no teams. Well, I mean, he actually does have a number of teams that he's on. I swear, I think a big thing that people do is they'll go to this site, they'll pull up a character here. Let's see, so he's on, we could just do movie bosses, I guess, movie bosses. And then he'd be a little bit down here. Here he is. I think people pull up this site, they pull up this, and they go, oh, yeah. Because, other thing too, anytime people are using clips, it's just like with the Brolys and Slug and stuff like that. You can use him there. Keep in mind, Slug's domain debuffs him. Beerus will work pretty effectively on Teq Broly's movie bosses. I'm not the biggest fan of running him with Int Broly. I like doing running Int Broly's team with other characters, not uncontrollable power, if I'm fighting the Gogeta memorable battle fight, right? Because then Broly's got true type advantage over Gogeta, and he's able to kind of handle business a little bit more effectively. But I don't go crazy just running Beerus on these teams. He's on strong categories, right? We have Realm of Gods. We have Bond of Master and Disciple. So instantly, you run him on tech. Dude, Beerus works super good with UI Goku and a lot of the other God characters. Beerus is just straight up head and fucking shoulders better than Carnival Gogeta. The downplay of Beerus out of nowhere is utterly bizarre, right? And we're just pretending like he doesn't just mesh perfectly on this team. Dude, you run him with AGL Jiren, Tech UI, AGL UI, in Evolution Blue Vegeta, you're cooking, right? Don't forget Tech UI Goku's also got Entrusted Will. We could throw Beast Gohan on here. Teq Beerus is a very strong, dominant defensive character. I've seen a lot of talk, too, about, oh, well, his links aren't that good. By the way, he does only have 6 links, which sucks. But guess what? Super top-tier defensive characters and support characters, links aren't as fucking important. People are so obsessed with damage in this community, it baffles my mind. We do now have damage threshold bosses which exist, but it doesn't change the fact that defense is the most important factor for these characters. Offensive glass cannon type characters will do nothing for you against these very high level bosses, and as content gets tougher, having these defensive juggernauts in place is what really matters. You could take Teq Beerus, you set him in slot 1 in front of those dominant boss supers like Goku and Frieza. He tanks it. He lives Goku and Frieza under 50% HP super. And that's before he gets this. This Beerus is competing with Max Buff's Kid Buu, like Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku and like STR EZA Kid Buu. They're on a different level from the rest of this fodder down here. They're just completely on a different level. Now, one thing I thought was very curious, and we definitely do need to talk about this, is Beast Gohan. So, I mean, I've said this for several months, that Beerus is essentially just baby Beast Gohan. TUR Beast Gohan. I've said it across 50 videos. I've ranted about people being really fucking stupid, talking about he has no teams. And I've mentioned this, I've referenced this, and I mean, it's gotta be at least 10 videos, right? Gotta be. Something like that. And I've said he's TUR Beast Gohan in probably more than that. 20 videos? Something like that. It's because they have very similar effects, right? So, they both have guard plus damage reduction, which is good. They both have a team protector mechanic. Now, Beasts is... I swear Beasts has always been a little underrated. Because if you go back even to the 9th anniversary, people were so quick to say, oh, well, Gogeta's is better. Yeah, Gogeta's is better on turn 55, man. Whereas Beast, it's just, he's got it. Turn 2, boom, it's up. And he is controlling the fight completely. I would probably argue that Beast might have like the best active skill right now. It's right up there because you get it so quick and the effect it has is dominant, right? Like one of the major reasons I still think that this guy has a great argument, if not just like a good argument, for being the best unit in the game. A lot of it has to do with his active skill and how he can control the fight with a defensive ability. I think is huge, right? Like Teq Broly is so good, but Teq Broly doesn't have that team protector mechanic that Gohan has got, right? Like that's the one thing Gohan has over Teq Broly, and it's maybe the biggest thing. It's so crazy because Teq Broly is like a perfect unit. Like Teq Broly is a character without flaws. Really, like what flaw does this guy have? There's nothing. He doesn't have flaws. It's like you could say he doesn't have a team protector mechanic, but that's I don't know that that's not really a flaw in his design or kit. It's just something he doesn't have, right? Now Beerus has got one too. Beerus is not as good, but he's got one. So HP falls below 60%. He goes into his rage mode, would last for 1 turn. Now, the way rage modes, giant forms work to cancel a boss super attack or a boss AoE or a boss heal, like one of these special boss abilities, is when you go into that mode, technically, it's still the same turn, right? So let's say we transform with Beerus on turn 3, we go through the rage turn, we leave it, and we go back to him in base. It's still technically that same turn 3. So any special boss abilities they have during that rotation, they can't then use once you leave it, right? So Beerus will activate that, and there's a good chance you're going to get rid of the boss super attack. Against Goku and Frieza, 100% of the time you will remove their super, because they super 100% of the time, right? Like, I've all day today, right, like, people have been arguing about Beerus, and I've seen people are starting to fish up very specific clips, like in certain fights, right? No one mentioned it, but one that did happen to me. Damn, I don't know what video it would have been in. I'm not sure if it was in his showcase or if it was in his I think it was in his showcase. But I did have a specific situation happen. Maybe I could double check it. It's this one. So against the Gogeta fight specifically, right? So Gogeta could double super. So when you talk about a 1-turn rage mechanic, having the chance to remove a boss super attack, right? Since Gogeta could double super, we could go into Beerus's rage mode, and then Gogeta could super once. We leave the rage mode, but Gogeta could still super one more time on the turn. And then Beerus would be under a low HP threshold. He doesn't have this damage reduction. We're going to get to this more in a second, right? And then Gogeta supers and hits Beerus, or supers and gets the big attack buff and then hits Beerus with normal, something like that. There's a couple of very specific situations. But I do think it's a little comedy, because no character is perfect. People will push an agenda for a character they either like or don't like. And it's one of the two. I've been saying this recently, too, talking about physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku, right? Where his transformation condition, I feel like a lot of people are going to use this as a weapon. Well, people who don't like him are going to use it as a weapon, right? Oh, well, I can never transform with him. He sucks, right? And the people who really love with him, oh, well, it's never been an issue, so it's not a big deal. So far, I haven't actually had issues transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Just, HP conditions are inconsistent. But, like, that's just what the community does, like, with their favorite characters versus characters they like. We're going to just, artificially produce whichever situation either makes the character I want to look good, or the character I want to look bad. Any character will look bad, right? Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku. You can go into the Goku and Frieza fight. He gets locked in slot 1 Android 17. He could be wiped away, right? Glorio. Maybe my pick for best unit in the game right now. I'm just saying. Glorio's right up there. He could get wiped out by the locking, right? I think it'll come in the future. Dokkan is going to go back to AoE bosses. Dokkan always does. That is another thing that could potentially be a weakness for Glorio. Every character has weaknesses. Teq Broly, who I would consider basically a perfect unit. After We still haven't pulled up, right? Yeah. You transform with him, and then for these 3 turns, he's basically invincible while this is up. But once this is gone, he, falls down from, best unit in the game discussions to Hall of Very Good, right, is what he becomes. Very effective slot 2 character, slot 3 character, some shit like that. Every character can be caught. So, I don't, like, people just, like, artificially producing these situations to be like, oh no, look, he sucks. This, like, 1 in a million chance. Oh my god, he's so terrible. It's like, well, let's be fucking serious for 2 seconds, okay? Alright, now what else do we want to talk about? The damage reduction thing, this is not really too much of an issue unless it's very, very specific situations. Because the way he's designed right here is that if this is not fully up, you're going to go into his rage mode, which he could do 2 times, and then cancel the boss super attack. And remember, a lot of bosses, it's not just that their super attack hits super hard, but they will super attack and buff themselves a lot. And then even their normals will do extra damage. Red Zone Kid Buu does it. Memorable Battle Super Gogeta does it. Again, the one place where I had an issue with Beerus was that situation where I had gone rage mode, canceled 1 Gogeta super, went back into base, and then Gogeta did a second super, and then I believe his normals decimated Beerus. I don't know specifically what video it was in. I mean, I could look for it. Wait, was that it? Actually? Or was that just... No, that's just Kid Buu dying like usual. Yeah, oh, is this it? No, that's Sleepy Beerus dying like usual. Okay. Oh, this might be it. Is it? I put him in, yeah, this is it right here, Okay, perfect. Okay, so, what is this, turn 2? Okay, so we take a lot of damage turn 1, we fall under his threshold, he goes into this, and again, what he does is he cancels, I believe, 1 super or whatever, and then we leave. Let's watch this turn. So, like, this is, like, a very, specific situation here. So, is this a super or is this just a normal? Then it's the second super attack takes him out. Right? Like, you're talking about these, like, very, very specific situations. So there's that. Here, let's let it play. Boom. There you go. That's the one... As far as I'm aware, that's the one time I've had Beerus get absolutely worked. Because when we took him into Max Buff's Kid Buu the other day, we had no issues. Beerus was just tanking shit left and right. One thing I was very pleased with, too, is... Who was that? Fodder Tech UI Goku? Goddamn him. Okay, so we go into Beerus's rage mode, right? We leave. Kid Buu uses up his super attack. But then we go here, and I remember I was thinking I'm a little concerned here. So Kid Buu has used his super, but our HP is super low, so Beerus loses some of his damage reduction. But, oh, guess what happens? He just double-digit fucking tanks anyway. Head over here, and it's like we ended up being fine, right? So there's that. Is there anything else we need to cover? He does have an additional, like Beast. I mean, Beast, oh yeah. It was more so, comparing a lot of the similar abilities that Beast Gohan had, with Beerus. Now, one thing I've thought was a little interesting is people will talk about Beast Gohan's damage. Beast Gohan's damage is very easy on the doorstep of getting power crept completely. Because when Beast is able to do a lot of damage, it's right here. He gets hit, so he gets his guaranteed additional super, and then he gets this with each attack received. Once Beast falls out of being in slot 1, he is basically hitting like a feather, right? Beerus, a lot of times, I've seen him bounce around in between kind of like that 15 to 24 million range. So, I mean, he is capable of damaging Goku and Frieza, which is a huge thing. People talk about the damage checks now, which, I mean, I agree to an extent. With these damage checks existing, I certainly like crit over additional on many characters, right? And another thing I've talked about is I've been planning on doing a video. I even showed the thumbnail in a video recently. It was a thumbnail I got in 2019, but I'm going to go over kind of like the damage check. And I do think 10th anniversary is probably going to continue damage checks. Like, I bet 10th anniversary will have like a strong AoE boss. We'll have a damage check boss. I mean, I think they're going to bring all this shit back. To me, the damage check makes sense because it's a way for them to maybe not make the boss, you know, rather than the boss super for 7 million, they can have the boss super for 6 million, but then they make it to where your characters, you know, oh, you must be using the new shiny unit in order to actually do the damage, that type of thing. So I think that will return, right? So in terms of damage, I mean, they both got the built-in crits. Beerus, though, his additional is HP 60% or less. And then, of course, Beast has got it once he actually gets hit. They do both support as well. Beast gets hit. I love this shit. Beast gets hit and gives 3 key to the whole rotation after receiving an attack. And then he does also have this after he either gets hit 5 or more times, or after he supers 5 or more times, or receives an attack 8 times. And then Beerus has got support too. It's like, if you go through a lot of this, his role, that's exactly what he is. He's TUR Beast Gohan. He always has been, and that's always what he's going to be. That's what the character is. We got the crits, got the additionals, it's got a team protector mechanic, he's supporting. It's not very difficult to understand, right? The one big thing, though, is that the difference between this and this, I think, is really big, right? Beerus's team protector mechanic a lot of the times is going to help you, but some of the times there are rare times where it could be bad. Mostly, I would think like the Janemba or Gogeta fights, because it's like, if you pop this and you're fighting, you know, Android 17 and Golden Frieza, that shit's going to help, right? Red Zone Kid Buu, although to be fair, Burst Mode Kid Buu does go away. I mean, on the 10th. It's very soon. Burst Mode Kid Buu goes away, right? But, like, this guy handles business. Seeing downplay for him is so funny. It really is. I know what it boils down to. It's damage. It's damage. The kids love their damage. They love their damage. Swag Kage pointed this out to me. A lot of people just are all of a sudden upset. Now, Super Saiyan 3 Goku comes out, Kid Buu comes out, and Beerus is right up there with him. And that makes him upset. This guy? No, not him. No, definitely not him. Did I not have him pulled up? Yeah, here we go. This guy was a ridiculously popular character when he came out. This guy's a big-time character. So he gets an EZA that better than I would have thought. He has a crazy EZA. I think he's very good. And people are, you know, falling in love, but, you know, he's not just blow your balls away, best unit in the game, best TUR, best EZA TUR. Sorry, but Big Daddy, he's right up there in the discussion, and that makes him mad. No, he can't do damage. Oh, just because he guards and tanks, he's so good. Yes, motherfucker! Because he guards and tanks, he's really good. Congratulations! You got it, bitch!